All right, guys, happy Monday, October 16th, coming to you live, coming to you excited, coming to you full of energy as always, and coming to you with tremendous levels of gratitude for one thing. Obviously, there's many things to be grateful for, but if I'm thinking about this week, I am just grateful to be able to go away. I'm eloping in the jungle. For the people that don't know, I'm literally going to Singapore for 2 days. I'm going to Bali for 3 days in the jungle, 4 days on the beach. We're going to have a private ceremony in the jungle next to this river and have an officiant and a photographer. That is it, and just us and our food, and it's just going to be a whole entire experience. And so super grateful for love and being able to travel and do this with Amanda, and then I'm grateful that somebody has agreed to put up with me for the rest of their life. So she's okay with what she's getting into, and I cannot be more grateful for that. And so find yourself somebody that will love you no matter what, that will see all your imperfections and say, you know what, that's my person regardless. And I always think about it like this. I think about our team, and I think if you're not on the team, you know, it's okay. I always think about our team as being in a healthy relationship. And let me elaborate before I start the whole session today. I look at our team and I look at Fast Real Estate as being in a healthy relationship, because we've all been in, you know, relationships that did not serve us, or not that we didn't like that person, but maybe we weren't able to express or be ourselves, or be our quirky, weird person that we are, or be an asshole that we are, whatever that looks like for you. And so what happens is that we always find ourselves like holding back. And then we end that relationship, and then we find somebody that through all of our faults, through all of our imperfections, they just appreciate you. They put up with you, they tolerate you, and they just put up with you. And I feel like when you're at Fast Real Estate, it's like, come as you are, be different, be quirky, be weird, be jerkish sometimes. It's all right. As long as you're being yourself. That's what I feel that this environment represents. I'm actually dropping a video coming soon. But anyways, I want to start you guys
Thanks
off
for
with that.
including me, buddy.
What? He knew it. He knew it. See, I didn't even say his name, but he knew it. But that's the thing, you guys. I look at us as being in a healthy relationship. Come as you are, express who you are. But that was my sentiment. I was writing down some notes on a video that I'm going to create, so I wanted to start there. I'm actually going to turn it over to Ashley. Ashley G, you're going to bring the team out on the field today. Thanks for being on. Thanks for always being present. So if you would, please do us the honor of taking the team out on the field on this beautiful Monday morning. Let's go.
Good morning. Happy Monday. Lately, I've just been focusing on getting 1% better every day and not getting into that comfortable mindset of just things will happen, but really forcing things to happen and thinking and being proactive and thinking, what do I want to do this week that can make an impact to where my future self in 15 years is going to be happy about the things I'm doing today, and just compounding those things every single day. And they're adding up. And I hope they're adding up for you guys too.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And you know what, Ashley, I heard Ashley's name probably last year before we actually met. I'd heard her name, but I didn't know who she was. We never spoke. I don't know if we were even following each other on social media, but like I've seen your growth in just the few months of us being partners and being in the same environment, and it's inspiring. Now, Ashley's a lender, but we all speak. There's continuity in the words that we speak and the things that we're doing for ourselves to grow. And so, Ashley, you've just been a steward of growth. You've faced your challenges. You've been vulnerable, and you've been all about one step. And it's been really cool to see. So, Ashley, shout out to you. I love it. Thanks for always sharing. Thanks for always being on here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Before we get rolling, you guys, I want to go to the star of the show today, and her name is Zoe Rose. If you look at Damian Bledsoe's camera, or his face on camera, Zoe Rose is going to make him go viral. She was just in his most recent video, and he asked her, where are you from? And she said, from the town, bruh. And I promise you that video right there is going to get tons of views, tons of likes. So Damian, it's been great to see how you've re-emerged and re-stepped in to the light that you are going to shine on this world. And it's been so powerful to watch, bro. Like there was a time where it was literally pulling teeth. And I was like, Damian, get yourself on camera. You just start talking about things. And for whatever reason, he didn't. But for whatever reason, he is doing it now. And so to me, and it's been great to see this evolution. And listen, you guys, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to start somewhere. But you can tell he's recommitted. You can tell that he's doing things in a different way and that he is truly, truly taking this business way more serious than maybe he had in the past in regards to visibility on social media. So to me, great to see you. Appreciate you being on. Shout out to Zoe Rose. She is absolutely beautiful. Congrats on having such an amazing child. And let's get right into this. So you guys, I'm a football fan, but I'm not going to talk about football too much because I don't want to bore all the people that are not football fans on the call today. However, when it comes to sports, when it comes to mindset, when it comes to push, when it comes to grit, when it comes to grind, those are all things that are part of my love language. So I want to start the conversation off today because we always talk about moving the needle on Mondays. Moving the needle on Mondays is literally how am I going to push my business forward this week? I want each of you that are on this call and that will watch this call in the future, think about every single week is a sprint. How am I going to sprint into action this week? And those small sprints support the bigger goal, the monthly goal, the quarterly goal, the yearly goal. So think about your week as a sprint. What can I do this week to sprint towards success? So I wanted to ask everybody a question. And if you're driving, come back to this, but I want you just to at least think about it. When you're planning out 2024, and this is right around the corner, this is why this is powerful. I watched an interview over the weekend, and they interviewed Baker Mayfield. And if you know who Baker Mayfield is, he is a quarterback that is he's constantly been the underdog. And they told him no, they told him no, they told him no. So he's still proving himself. He's just still proving himself. And he has some inconsistencies, but that's a whole nother conversation. But they asked him a question. I thought it was a good question to ask each of you. And it's very simple. In 2024, Aaron Crisp will what? Aaron Crisp will build the business of his dreams. Aaron Crisp will, shatter any self-limiting beliefs. Aaron Crisp will be organized. Aaron Crisp will make a dent on society. Aaron Crisp will sell 24 homes. Aaron Crisp will this. Like, very simple. 2024, insert your name, will what? Will what? Ryan Fong will what? Rich Kelsey will what? Roe will what? Ashley G will what? Christina will what? Like, what does that actually look like? Like, I want to be different in 2024. And I feel like I have good momentum right now, but I could do better and I can achieve more and I could become even more organized and I could get even better with my relationships, right? Like, so there's so much things that I can do. So I just want you guys to ask yourself this question. In 2024, Elias Estudo will be what, right? Be very clear on that. And I want you guys to write that down. By the end of the call, if you want to share, feel free to share. Share with an accountability homie, share with your family, and make sure that this is very, very loud in your environment because there's some things that are probably holding you back right now. And it's okay. We all have that. But like, what are you going to do? How are you going to show up differently? Who are you going to become? And what is the dent you're going to leave on society in 2024? Or are you going to do some of the same shit right now that's not serving you? I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for a big year. I'm ready for a monster year. I'm ready for a legendary year. And I'm ready to really change my life and my family's life. And that's what I'm going to do in 2024. So get clear on that question. As I start the conversation out, I just want to put everybody in a quick state before we get rolling. You guys, does anybody know what's happening today in the courts? Does anybody want to take themselves off of mute right now? I feel like if we don't talk about this, we're missing a huge conversation piece, and it's very important to our business. Anybody know what's going on in the courts that's starting today? Anybody want to raise their hand? Tell me if they've read anything. Aaron Crisp, what's happening in the courts today right now as we're speaking?
I read a little something that Kenny put out on IG where it looks like that lawsuit with the real estate, I guess in regards to the commissions is the National Association of Realtors, I guess, is pretty chill about it. They're not stressing off of it. But it seems like they're starting that case with regards to realtor commissions and stuff like that.
All right, cool. So good. I just want to kind of see where people are at. JJ, you had your hand up, bro. Let's hear from you. And then anybody else, please chime in on this because I want to have a quick conversation on this. JJ.
So the chickens are coming home to roost. We should have addressed this ourselves. We didn't. We were silly. And now we're going to pay the price for letting the government meddle in this thing. And it's going to be impactful because a lot of buyers agents are going to really starve once this thing goes through. Essentially, what it is the commissions were set up, and everybody knows it's, right now it's 5%. but the equity and the value went up higher, and we kept it at 5%. And it really doesn't. I mean, listen, everyone can say whatever they want. It's very hard to justify 5% on $1 million transaction that you would have done for the same services at 500,000. And so we should have self-adjusted, and we wouldn't be in this issue right now. But we didn't. We were greedy, just like we were with the 3% interest. And the chickens are going to come home to roost the same way. Like I said before, man, you add stimulants to the party, and eventually you've got to pay the price.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I love this conversation, Track. Blessing, thoughts from you. What's going on right now today as we speak, starting today?
Yeah, I do know that it's the National Association of Realtors' turn to be on trial, and then two other brokers, Remax and Anywhere, they actually settled out of court, and everyone was saying that it was weird that the brokers decided to settle ahead of what NAR was going to do. So it should have everyone should have been on the same page to make it seem like, realtors aren't fighting amongst themselves. So whatever happens with NAR, it's going to set a precedent for every other brokerage. But Remax and Anywhere basically saying we're just going to pay the settlement out of court and move on kind of looks like, okay, yeah, we did a bad thing, but we're taking ownership. So depending on how NAR goes, that's either going to be a good thing or a bad thing in the way that the commission structures come out, is what I've been hearing.
Yeah. And you guys, we'll have the whole conversation as we, get deeper and deeper with National Association of Realtors and what that relationship looks like long-term for us as real estate professionals, because of all of the things that are disparaging in the news right now, discrimination, conversations about, harassment and things like that. So it's uncertain where we're at with the National Association of Realtors, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the next couple of months. But Ilona, you had your hand up. I want to get to you, get your guys' thoughts on this. And I'm going to share some stuff from a recent article I read this morning, but let's go, Ilona. And before we get started, my heart goes to you and to your family. I saw your heartfelt video last week. And so my prayers, my thoughts, my positive energy is with you and your family.
Thank you. I appreciate that. From what I understand is that if this all pans out, even though Remax has settled out of court, so they said, yeah, we did something bad. The end result is buyer's agents are going to have to negotiate their own commission. Is that my understanding of really what we are looking at? And my question is, by Remax settling out of court, is that literally them saying, yeah, okay, we did that and this would still happen? Or is this still an ongoing fight? Like, is it possible that we might not have to negotiate?
It's an ongoing fight, and it starts today. But the reason why I'm having this conversation, and JJ, before I go any further and go into the points of this, is that a new hand or is that an old hand? Okay, I think that was an old hand. The point of this conversation is to, no matter what happens, right? There's going to always be a need for buyer's agents, because there's always going to be a need to negotiate, to write the offer, to communicate at the highest level and really do what we do. However, when we talk about your unique value proposition, what you offer to consumers, what separates you, how are you truly going to sell all the services that you actually offer and what you actually do to represent a buyer? If that came to you today, could you articulate that and stand in front of a room and say, this is why you should pick me? I'm Ilona. These are my services. This is the benefit of working with me. And this is the fee that I charge based on the value that I hold. Well, shit. Okay, cool. I like what you've said. You can clearly articulate that. Imagine that. Imagine you standing in a room right now and they said, can you share with us what your unique value proposition is and the value that you hold to consumers right now? Could you say that? And for some of us, we struggle with that. So if the tides are shifting, and you guys know that this is the conversation, whatever way that it goes, you guys have to make sure that that part of your communication is spot on. Your proof, and listen, it goes back to things that we've talked about over and over and over again. Remember, when we did our VTO, what's on here? Your proven processes, your 3 uniques, the things that make you different in the marketplace. Think about these things. Think about your proven process. If any of you have got a consumer into contract, the proven process is that they won and they got into their home. So how do you articulate that? How do you build social media content around that? How do you put articles out about that? How do you put that in your in your MailChimp, in your news correspondence, in your email correspondence? And how do you get in front of this? Like, if you don't have a way to clearly articulate what defines you in this real estate market, it's going to be challenging for you. I promise you, it's going to be challenging for you. So you need to stand on a pedestal and be able to speak from a loudspeaker of what you do or what makes you different. JJ, I think that is a new hand. So let's go to you really quick.
Yeah. Just to reiterate what you just said, I mean, just look at the team's numbers, right? Every other brokerage was shedding costs, trimming people. In the office, our team, you guys mostly, because I don't do a lot of sales, but I just love the team. It continued to keep the numbers up, and so clearly the team understands and knows that it doesn't matter what kind of adversity comes through, you still have to perform. Where the industry's trimmed, I don't know, like 30%, I think already, maybe more. Our team trimmed people who weren't effective, but the numbers have stayed up and they brought on new people. It's going to be the same thing with the buyers' commissions. Again, this is something that we messed up as an association. Back to the REMAX thing. They sued the REMAX group individually, and then they sued NAR. So the reason why there's two different lawsuits is because they weren't all put into one. And so that's why they settled. It wasn't so much that REMAX won't be affected, because REMAX is still part of NAR. And so they will be affected, but they got sued individually. It's like suing the team and then suing Elias kind of thing. It's two different lawsuits. Not that anybody would, because you're a great guy. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. It doesn't matter. Yeah, maybe there will be an adjustment period. And I think at the end of the day, the sellers are still going to cover the commission for the buyer's agents. I think, again, the biggest mistake we did is we didn't adjust the commission to justify these giant numbers. When your average transaction is 800, 900,000 5-6 years ago, it was 600,000. We gave ourselves this giant raise, and we weren't able to justify our commission to the sellers, and that's why we're getting sued now. This lawsuit could have happened at any point. It's happening now because the numbers are high, and because we had a bunch of lazy agents who could not justify the commission they were making. And that is why now they're doing tech or selling burgers or whatever they're doing now. Anyway, off my soapbox.
Yeah, no, man, I totally agree. Let's go to Ilona, and then we'll kind of continue the conversation. I'll share an article with you and where to go for reference points about this topic. Let's go, Ilona.
As a home buyer, on if this does happen, is this going to be a cost that can be, eaten in the loan? Is this a cost that they need to come out of pocket, in the beginning? Like, I don't even understand. This is going to completely restructure the way buyers are buying houses. And so I just want to, like, it's just, anybody know anything about what that looks like?
I think that's really, really early to tell. But in regards to the loan part, I don't know, Christina, if that's even a conversation we can have right now. I don't even know if that's applicable, and I'll come to Jeff in just a moment as well. But I'm really glad that we're having this conversation because I feel it's important. Christina, let's hear from you, and then we'll go to Jeff.
Yeah, I would add those type of fees you're not able to add into the loan. Just like when people try to add closing costs, the only time you can add, like, for example, closing costs into your loan is if you have a refinance. Then we have leverage for that. But on a home purchase, as of now, and I don't see in the future, we'll be able to add any of those fees into your loan. Unless I'm thinking, now I just said that, unless you were to get a seller credit, I don't even know if that would make sense, but like how we now use a seller credit towards closing costs to buy down the interest rate. I wonder if we got an extra seller credit to go towards that. But yeah, like you're saying, it's still pretty early.
Yeah, I appreciate the contribution. Jeff, let's hear from you.
So I've heard a few perspectives, and I would tell everybody to listen to that Knowledge Broker podcast. Brian Lazine, Tom Toole, they do a great job of breaking everything down and just kind of articulate what's going on. But it sounds like I could be wrong and they could be wrong, but it's probably going to be some more addendums that come in, things that need to get signed, and telling sellers, hey, you have the ability to waive commissions to the buyer's agent. And, it get like blatantly stated. And then if they want to do it, but for the most part, I heard another perspective. I think it was at EXPCon that they were showing the videos of someone talking about it. And she was like, most of the like lower end or your entry level homes, they're probably still going to have that ability, or the seller, it's going to be in their best interest for the seller to, do it this traditional way. Is going to be just being able to articulate your value, being able to articulate to them that, you know what I'm saying, like, hey, these people that are coming in, some of them are just scraping by to get this house at 3.5% at FHA. We can negotiate, and you're going to have to negotiate your commission, but that they'll probably still end up, you know what I'm saying, like taking care of that half, because I know I personally worked some magic and got somebody into a house for $12,000, and you know what I'm saying, like they didn't have the ability to do 2.5% on top of that towards my side of the commission. And when you're in those neighborhoods where it's 450,000 first time home buyer, you're probably still going to end up having that commission. It's just being able to articulate it, and then also going in and not saying things like, hey, my services are free. That's what they talk about on the podcast, that one of the regulations that was the like conclusion of Remax and the other one settling was that they're not going to allow their agents to say, hey, my services are free whenever they were saying, like, we shouldn't be saying that anyways. We should be saying, hey, we earn this by doing this and going through this and protecting you through the process. We're guiding you through the process. And the way that we are paid is that the seller side has the commission it wrapped in, but our services aren't free. We are working for something. Nobody is any value by working for free. No, we don't work for free. We work to earn this commission, and this is how we do it. And so that was one of the main things that they're talking about, that don't say that anymore. You can't say, hey, my services are free to you. No, it's not free. It's that I'm earning this, but this is how the commission structure is. So it's probably going to be some more addendum, some more verbiage, and just articulating to both the buy side and the sell side. And you might see, you know what I'm saying, some 1.5% on the buy side type thing. You never know.
Yeah. And there's brokerages out there right now that require a certain amount of percentage for a listing, right? They require that. So that number may change in the future. So JJ, you had was that another hand, or was that just
last time I get in on this. So you guys, it used to be, I'm so old and into this, that it used to be 3%. And as the values went up, it went down to 2.5%, right? So we never made that second adjustment. But here's the other thing. Back when I started, no one ever waived all their disclosure. Jesus Christ, I can't even think right now. They never waived any of the contingencies, right? And that became a norm. And so, it's going to be the same thing. Are buyer's agents going to make less money per transaction? I think so. But it's just an adjustment. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. It's just going to be an adjustment. It's going to be like we were just saying, it's going to be another disclosure. And that's it. I mean, when I started, everybody got 3%, and everybody and their grandmother was upset when something was at 2.5. Now 2.5 is the norm, and so it'll be an adjustment. But freak out for a second, but then say, okay, well, what am I going to do to correct this? And at the end of the day, the only thing that's going to change is that the sellers are going to know that they have more power than they did. Right now, you walk in and you just say, hey, the commission is going to be 5%. Nobody bats an eye. Now they know that they can, like they always could. They could always negotiate it, but they just didn't. So don't freak out too much.
Yeah, you guys. And to kind of wrap on this side of the conversation, I want you to start making a true list of all the things that you do. And I'm just thinking right now, from the research that you do, from the communication, from the pulling of the comps, doing the data pull, escrow management, right? You're the one that's managing the entire escrow. You're the one that is helping them reach certain milestones throughout escrow. You're the one that's, the negotiator on their behalf. Think about all the things. You guys are reviewing reports, the general home inspection, the roof report, the termite report. You're doing a full analysis to make sure that they understand if there's any red flags, and then things that are consideration items for them to look for down the road, so they have those on the back burner in case they need to spend some money down the road. You're the one that's checking with city ordinances. You're the one that's making sure that they understand if a sewer lateral needs to be replaced, a sidewalk ordinance. You're the one that talks to them about economic impact over the next 10 years in that area based on what's coming, what's building, the new school. So you guys, I'm just freestyling right now, but there are so many things that you guys know that you do that needs to be clearly articulated to a consumer. I need everyone on the screen and everyone that will watch this in the future to be very clear on their unique value proposition and the value that they hold to a consumer. There should be no reason why somebody would not work with you, right? They only don't work with you is because they feel like, oh, well, she just opens doors. He just opened doors. Anybody can do that. I'll just go and call Redfin, right? Everything that you guys do, start writing that out and be very clear with that. And then say, what separates me from any other realtor in the game right now? What separates me from my team members? Because quite frankly, you're probably going to be going up against team members on deals. So that's the conversation I wanted to have with you guys. The case for you guys to be able to study, to be able to look, let me share really quick. All right, you guys. So for the people that don't have Inman, I would highly recommend that you guys pay the subscription to have Inman. Here's what to know. I'm going to try to keep everybody up to date, but the case is called Sitzer and Burnett. All right, so Sitzer and Burnett, excuse me. So if you go into Inman today, the article is fresh. Who are the plaintiffs? Here are these people that were the home sellers that originally filed this case back in 2019, and they won a class action lawsuit in 2022. From there, it went on. That was the first one, like JJ said, and then the case has gone on and got bigger and bigger. Here are the defendants: National Association of Realtor, Keller Williams, Anywhere, formerly Realogy, Remax, and Home Services of America, BHH affiliates, and HSF. So this is going to give you a play-by-play. It will tell you what are the allegations. The plaintiffs allege that NAR's participant rule, which requires listing brokers to offer buyer brokers a commission in order to list a property, is a violation of the Sherman Antitrust Act. So here's what I want you guys to do, is I want you just to dive into this conversation. I want you to read. I want you to be knowledgeable. I want you to understand the impact that it will have on you, as well as the impact that it will have on consumers in the future. Now, your worth is your worth, right? People will pay you in direct correlation to the amount of value that you offer this world. Let me say that one more time. A consumer will pay you in direct correlation to the amount of value that you offer them in this world. So I want you guys to be very clear on that. There should be a clear separation from you. As we move forward in this, is there probably going to be an area where there's some type of discount buyer's agents? Probably, right? There's might be those people that are like discount buyer's agents, but that's not you. All of you are going to play at a higher level and be an elite player, something that is looked at as, wow, like that is like I'm getting true high value by working with a Ryan, by working with a Roe, by working with a Hugo, by working with a Blessing, right? They get a tremendous level of value working with you. That needs to be clearly articulated. So when you guys go back, and last plug, when you guys go back to your VTO, and if you haven't started your VTO, November 8th, 9th, and 10th, we're doing business planning. We're starting in Sacramento. We're going to Walnut Creek, and then we're going to Oakland. I'm going to drop the links in just a minute here. But on here, you guys are going to see here, what is my proven process and what are my 3 uniques? Start writing that out. Be very, very clear on that. Be able to articulate that at a high level and start practicing those things. All right, guys, any questions, any thoughts, any dialogue on this conversation before we shift gears? Let me give everybody an opportunity to chime in if they would like to do so. Anybody going once, going twice? We're good? All right, cool. Let me just go to a couple people. I'm just going to call you out really quick. Let's go to Ashley. Where are your thoughts at right now? I'm going to go to Ro. Where are your thoughts at right now? Ryan, where are your thoughts at right now? Rapid fire. Let's hear from you.
Hey, good morning. So my thoughts were about when I was about 25, I was in a California Grand Casino commercial. Guy offered me $300. Go look it up. It's my 15 minutes of fame. He offered me $300. After it was done, he said, I would have paid you $3,000 if you would have known your worth. And so mad, but that obviously stuck with me. So knowing your worth is so, so, so important. I made $300. I could have made $3,000 if I would have known my own value. So I think this applies here as well.
Wow. Wow. Okay, cool. I thank you for that sentiment. I'm going to look up the commercial. All right. Ro, let's go over to you and then we'll go to Ryan Fong.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Yeah, I definitely agree. I was thinking about that and working with 2 clients I've been working with, and what they've shared with me is just, the fact that I can research things for them. I can contact the agent and get back with them. I can share information about the communities, the schools, transportation, other options. And so I just have to remember to go in and say, this is what I'm going to offer. You know, you could do this on your own, but this is why you should work with me. So I love this idea of just, and I have a long list here already of what I can offer to a buyer. So I think that's critically important to keep front of mind.
Totally, Ro. I 100% agree. And just to minor interruption, I just put 3 links in the chat down below. These are for our business planning clinics. You'll see a link for obviously Sacramento, Walnut Creek, and Oakland. Make sure to reserve your spot. Make sure to share that with a homie. Make sure to bring as many guests as you want to these sessions. Ryan Fong, let's go to you. Then we'll go back to our star of the day, JJ. Ryan Fong, let's go back to you.
Yeah, I think it's definitely important to know these things and articulate this to our buyers. For me, I guess I need to dial in exactly what it is that sets me apart, so that way I can tell my clients and they know what they're getting into and they know what kind of value that they're getting from me.
Totally. This is why, you guys, newsjacking is really, really important. I talk about this all the time. Like being able to read all the time, every single morning, like that is a non-negotiable for me. Like I have my glasses on, I'm with my black coffee, like every single morning. So I have dialogue for you guys, right? So I have dialogue for other people that I'm working with across the country. Like that's the same thing. So when you guys see something, when you hear something, when you read something, hey guys, I'm gonna share some thoughts with you about something that just dropped today, an article that I read and how it can potentially impact you or be an advantage for you as a seller or a buyer. Those are great things. And all you're doing is taking the publications and articles that were already written, and all you're doing is jacking that information and then conveying it in your own words, right? And you're giving your opinion on how you view whatever that news article was. So newsjacking is important. Like I am a junkie when it comes to reading information so I can better take that information and repurpose it. That's my goal. I want to learn too, but I'm like, how can I share this with somebody else and give them my vantage point? So Ryan, really, really good stuff. JJ, was there one more hand? And then we're going to shift gears.
Yeah, I just wanted to add the information, gathering information for people is great. But like Elias just said, I think technology is catching up with us so quickly that gathering information isn't that difficult. What you need to add and reiterate to your clients is the perspective and the knowledge and the wisdom. And that stuff doesn't, maybe at some point ChatGPT will get there, but it's not there yet. And so to me, telling them about the schools is great, but you've got to be able to go deeper so they really understand. It's kind of like a chef. A chef puts, he can give you all the ingredients, but you're not going to be able to cook the same meal. So they can get all the ingredients right now, but they're not the chef. It's not going to taste the same. That's why we go to restaurants. And so I think, I don't know how else to articulate it, but I think that's something that's vital for especially you newer agents to be able to give your clients that and say, hey, all the information is there. You can access it, but I'm the magic. I'm the one that makes it, taste the way it's supposed to taste. I don't know.
Right. So I just want you guys to go like this and drop your little salt on whatever it is that you guys are talking about, right? Like there's so much power in your opinion. And if you're able to take the information and say, hey, this is my opinion on what I read, and I want to share that with you. And even if your opinion is vastly different than what was good, I'm not supposed to agree with everything that I fucking read. I'm not, and I won't. And I'll be very vocal about it. Very vocal about it. So be able to take the information, newsjack it, and then that's it. That's me dropping salt like that guy. All right. Richard Hernandez or Richard Gonzalez, you had your hand up. Was that you? Richard going once? Richard going twice? All right, cool. I think his hand went down. All right, cool, you guys. Let's go ahead and shift gears. Once again, check out Inman if it's not in your budget. It's okay. Read a bunch of stuff. You can find tons of free articles, but I highly would recommend that you guys get an Inman subscription and get to those annual events, so on and so forth. So let's do this, you guys. Let's hear from, whether or not I hear from you, that's your prerogative. But I want you to be clear for this week. I want you to write down what your goals are. It's Monday. You probably have some goals. I have a goal to accomplish a certain amount of things from now until Wednesday, because after Wednesday at noon, I'm going to dip. I'm out. I'm bouncing for 12 days. But what are your goals for the week? And what is is the defining thing that will move your needle this week? Is it finally getting this off the ground? Is it finally doing this? Is it 10 videos? I don't know what it is, but what is the defining thing that will move your needle this week? And I want you to be very clear on that. This is the part of the conversation that's going to move your needle towards production. What would make your week a success? Mind, body, soul, and business, okay? What would make your week a success? Mind, body, soul, and business. Does that mean that on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you took 30 minutes to thrive, to be in stillness? Does that mean that you worked out? You did chest, arms, back, shoulder, run. What did you do this week to make sure that your body was in a really, really good place? And what is something that you could do to replenish the soul, right? I don't know if it's a sound bath in your area. I don't know if it's meditation. I don't know if it's hiking up a mountain and fucking smoking a joint. Whatever that looks like for you, do that. And then lastly, what are the things that you can do in your business this week that are truly, truly going to move your business forward? If you're to look at it, and like we've been talking about, maybe you're in intensity or maybe you're not in intensity. Every single week in intensity, there's a metric that they need to hit. There's quite a few metrics that they need to hit. So the goal is, how do I do all these things within 7 days? All of these things. And as a result of me doing all those things, I've had X amount of conversations. I've posted X amount of content. I've slid in X amount of DMs daily, all these things. So now I have a goal to hit. So if you don't have one for yourself, then make one. And then what are the main challenges that you currently face right now? Is it you? Let's be real. Is it you? Is that the main challenge that you face? Is getting out of your own way? You have all this fucking God-given talent. You have this ability. You have all this belief, but somewhere along the way, you just stumble over yourself, right? You are your own worst enemy, right? You do things that are completely against the grade to push you backwards, not forward. And it happens. We're human beings. Sometimes we are the ones that are getting in our biggest way. Are you challenged with distractions? Are you challenged with understanding how to articulate the current state of the market? Is your biggest challenge fear, right? Fear of knocking on the doors, fear of getting on camera, whatever that is, right? So I want you guys to know, what are your main challenges that you currently face? So let's go back through these. Obviously, this week is all about intention. Look at your week as a small sprint, right? What can I do just to get to that point? That is 1 week. Cool. Now I'm closer to my weekly goals, or my monthly goals. I'm closer to my monthly, my quarterly, and my yearly goals, but everything starts with a week sprint. So let me go back to the questions. What is the defining thing that will move your needle this week? What needs to happen in your business? What would make your week a success with mind, body, soul, and business? And what are your main challenges that you face right now? Now that I've asked you those questions, I have a few minutes to go around the room, and I want to see who wants to take a stab at this. And here's the thing. It shouldn't take you guys until 8:30 on a Monday morning to have clarity on the week ahead. My hope is that if you don't have some clarity, I'm going to give you a kick in the ass that you need. But my hope, my intent is that you come to these sessions and that you're already clear. You've already woken up, you've had your coffee, done your morning routine, that you're clear on the week ahead and what's going to actually move your business. Because if you don't, then you're acting haphazardly and you're leaving this business up to chance. And I'll tell you what, you guys, you deserve more, and so does your family. Nothing should be left to chance. So I want to hear from a couple of you guys. I want to hear from 3 people. Throw your hands up. I want to get you involved in this conversation. I am going to go to Ashley because I know you always start us off with some fire. I'm going to go to Jessica Hernandez because I see what you're doing, and Tyrell Pryor. If you can get involved in this conversation, I'd love for you to get involved in this conversation. But if he doesn't throw his camera on, we'll move to somebody else. So if you want to get involved, throw your hand up. And Hugo, I might come to you, big dog. So let's go. Let's start it out.
Good morning. So this afternoon, we are going to Concord to do a tabling event. 70 union workers are going to be there. We're going to bring pizza, and we're going to stand in the aisle and say, hey, if you want a slice of pizza, schedule a free one-on-one planning session for home buying. And so my plan is to convert at least 20 leads from that event. I want to do 10.
So hold on. So just so I'm clear, the number one thing that you're doing to move your needle this week is bribery with pizza, which I'm all for. Okay, cool. Because who can pass up some pizza? All right, cool. All right, then back to you. You said 10 what?
I did this 2 weeks ago. There was 95 union workers that showed up. We got 50 cards with their names, phone numbers, cell or email addresses on it. And 13 people raised their hands and said that they were interested in a home buying session. So this worked because the real estate agent that I'm working with used to be a union worker. So it's not going to work with everybody. You have to go back to who your people are, and whoever those people are and you're passionate with those people, go help them and see if they want to do a lunch and learn, because we converted a ton of people from that event, and I'm looking forward to today's as well. 10 video messages. I want to stick to my rocks, which are my sauna and my swimming and my time with God every morning. And then I want to do a new recipe. My challenge is I haven't planned enough time for learning the guidelines. There's thousands and thousands of guidelines, so I need to have that on my calendar every single week just to make sure I stay up to par. So I'm going to do that this week, give myself a little extra time just to make sure I'm learning and growing as well.
I love that. I love that because I'm always amazed with you guys as lenders. You know, the amount of facts, figures, data that you guys have to remember and have to articulate. That's ongoing. Things are changing. You're showing us those graphs. That's a lot. It's almost like you should probably start like a book club. Like, hey, we're going to do an hour of studying each week. Who wants to get together? And then who wants to practice how we're going to articulate this to a consumer? So Ashley, love what you're doing. Looking forward to seeing all of your videos this week. I think next up was, did I say Jessica Hernandez? All right, Jessica, hit them with it. What is, let's go back to defining thing that will move your needle this week: mind, body, soul, and spirit in business. And then what are your main challenges you face this week? Let's go.
Okay, so the number one thing that I'm going to do to move the needle this week is just stick to my calendar. I know that I write down a lot of things on my calendar, and then sometimes I don't have time to meet to accomplish those specific tasks, but I do move it for the next day. And then the second thing for mind, meditate and sit in stillness. I haven't meditated in a while, actually. I think it's been about a month since I've actually sat down and really, just relax and meditate. And then for body, go on a walk, continue drinking more water. For my soul, I wrote down to sit in my yard and just soak up the sun. I really enjoy doing that because I'm in my house all the time, and it feels good to just sit in my yard and soak up the sun. You said spirit, right?
Yeah, I think those kind of align.
Yeah, I feel like those two. Okay, and then for business, hit all of my metrics for the week. Oh, for soul, I want to spend more time with my family because I feel like they've already mentioned to me that I work so much and I'm on my computer a lot, and I haven't been spending a lot of time with them. And, that makes me feel sad and emotional, because before I got into real estate, I gave them all of my time, and now that I'm in real estate, I just feel like I'm so busy all the time. And they brought up the fact that I'm just working all the time on my computer. I'm never home. So yeah, I'm just learning how to balance it all.
I'll tell you what, Jessica, that's something that a lot of us face, that guilt, mom guilt, dad guilt, parent guilt, whatever that guilt is. It's normal. And what you'll find is that you'll raise your boundaries with the people that can take your time. You'll raise your boundaries with the amount of work that you do when you're with the people that you're hanging out with, but you also start to find a rhythm, right? I don't believe in finding balance in this business. I think balance is always thrown around like, oh, let me find work-life balance. No, what you'll find is you'll find a rhythm. And right now they're finding that rhythm with you. And so, I see your stuff. I see what you post with your family and those cute times where you guys are just at Target being silly and having fun. Those are make sure that there's always time for that, right? No matter what. We went out to the park yesterday and just did a little picnic and we had pizza and it meant so much to Silas. So it's the small things. So it's okay. We all go through that, a little bit of guilt. And then what is is that the biggest challenge you're facing right now?
Actually, yeah, but I also wanted to say that cold calling is a challenge that I'm facing.
Yep. And the only way that you're going to get better is obviously two things. You have to record your phone calls that way, and obviously, so you have a body of work, and then just analyze that with an accountability person. You can analyze that with me. That's how you're going to get better. right? Like, how do you actually sound? Because so many times people say, oh, it's cold calling. Well, where's the recordings that we can go back and watch tape or listen to it and be like, oh my God, do I really say that so many times? Right? How do I sound? How do I open up? How do I ask discovery questions? So it's all work in process. I think you're doing a really good job. Good stuff. JJ, was that another hand? And let's go. I forgot who else it was. Tyrell, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
All right, cool. So same questions to you, bro. What is the defining thing that will move your needle this week in your business? Let's hear from you. And then what will make your week a success with mind, body, soul, and business? And what are your current challenges? Let's go.
Cool. First, I just want to say I'm glad to be in this group. I think I started coming in this group 2 months ago. So, and it's exactly what I was looking for. So, and now that I'm in an intensity challenge, you know, I have the accountability partners there. I have you guys there. So it's been super helpful for me. So that's actually staying in line with that, making sure that I don't drop out and I don't quit is the main thing. But what'll help me stay on track, or what is going to help me stay on track this week and move my needle forward, is sticking to those metrics that I'm supposed to hit. They've been helping me stay focused, commit, and get creative. And it's really been challenging me. So we're in our second week now, and so I had to really take advantage of the weekend. So Saturday and Sunday, you know, I was clear that I was going to get out, knock my doors, and do the hard stuff first. So I started knocking some of those things out. And since the metrics are there, you know, it's clear what I need to do for the week. But in addition to that, I need to make a lot of phone calls. So I focus on off-market deals. And some of you know I'm not an agent, so I'm doing wholesaling real estate. So I focus on a lot of off-market deals. So I need to make a lot of phone calls, and the way I do that is, so I had everything written out, but I haven't looked at it in like over a week, so I don't know my numbers. But I know I'm supposed to be on the phones for like 4 hours a week. And I know that's not really a lot, but I got the numbers all broken down of how many conversations I need to have. And I apologize because I should have those in front of me and I should know them. But
Hey, it's all good.
yeah,
It's all good. I'm with you.
Yeah, so I gotta have a certain number of conversations, and you know, that's pretty much it. If I can do that, then that's really gonna help move my needle forward, because I'm getting in front of people and talking to them. And then door knocking has helped as well. So just sticking to those metrics, hitting all my numbers as far as what we got to do on the intensity challenge, and then that's it. I'm just trying to keep it simple.
Love it.
You know, and I put it all on my calendar. That helps me a lot. So as long as I follow my calendar, everything should go good. Everything should be, you know, I should be good.
Love it, Tyrell.
The biggest thing for me, as far as what's challenging for me, is eating right. I mean, I don't have a lot of energy. I work a full-time job. So when I get off of work, you know, the challenging part for me is, you know, getting that energy to go and do my real estate. So the thing that helps me is to eat right. So I went shopping, got everything I need, and you know, if I can eat right for the week, then you know my energy should be right. So, but that's the most challenging thing for me.
I love it. I love it. You guys have been intermittent fasting for 2 weeks now, and I'll tell you what. Like at first it's hard, but now it's just like I could wait until 1 o'clock to eat. Like my senses are more aware. Like I feel like I even have even more energy than I normally would. So Tyrell, I totally agree with that. But imagine this, you guys. Imagine this. Say you ran your business every single week, and these are some old metrics, but say you ran your business every single week this way. And whether or not you're in intensity or not, that's your prerogative. And it's a choice. But imagine if you created 5 reels a week, you knocked on 50 doors, you sent 15 one-to-one videos, you had 25 conversations, set 3 appointments, recorded 10 calls and follow-up boss, previewed 10 homes. And then you tracked all of your activity in Sisu every single week. Right? Imagine if you just did that. So whether or not you're in intensity, like setting a goal for yourself and then using the word commitment as not something that's just thrown around loosely. Ooh, I commit to this week. I'm going to get it. And then I didn't hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's all right. It's not okay. It's not okay to say I commit to something and then I don't follow don't follow through. That's not okay. Don't even fucking throw it in the universe if you're not going to stick to it and accomplish that. But imagine every week, every single week, you held yourself to that accountability. You raised the intensity of your business. Where would your business be in 3 months from now? If every single week you held yourself to that level of intensity, every single week, I promise you this, I promise you, your business would be in an amazing, amazing place. And your conversations, your follow-up boss, the notes, your social media would be plugged in. You'd be knocking on doors. Your legs would feel good. You would look good. You're talking to people in the neighborhood. I promise you. That's why setting your goal every single week, you guys, and hell or high water, you achieve that goal, no matter what, right? And set it to something that you can actually do this week. And then whatever that is, turn it up just a little bit, just a little bit. JJ, was there something else before we go on?
No, sorry, that was a attaboy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I wanted to share those metrics with you, and I wanted to get some thoughts from you guys. So I wanted to share something really quick because I always like to do kind of like surveys, right? And so I wanted to get your guys' thoughts, opinions on some copy. And I want to share this with you because your guys' opinion is super, super important to me. So I'm going to share this with you guys, and I just want to get your thoughts really quick. Let me go here. Sent, boom, bam, we're in. All right, cool, you guys. So if you are a real estate, or you are real estate, if you were to enter a real estate challenge, let me ask you if you feel that these are good hooks that I've come up with, because you guys are my audience, right? So this is for everyone, and let me know if any of these hooks stand out to you. Feeling stuck in your real estate business, worried about when your next commission check will hit? Do you struggle with staying consistent with your income producing activities? Considering if this industry is even for you, do you refuse to go into 2024 with inconsistent income? Are the highs and lows of your business stressing you out? Are you considering a side hustle because you can't crack the code? Do you want the real estate cheat code to ensure you provide the best life for your family in 2024? Do you lack clarity and focus in your real estate business? Feeling lost and unmotivated and need a sign? Speed up your success with Agent Accelerator. Sick and tired of the constant struggle? Are you ready to master the game? Do you want accelerated results? Do you want to eliminate the guesswork of your success? Do you want to remove friction and make 2024 your most successful year yet? Are those okay hooks?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, David. I appreciate you. Those were non-ChatGPT created hooks, but you guys are my audience, right? Because what I'm going to be doing is with my business partner Raquel, we're going to be launching a challenge, November. But I'm working on some of the hooks. So good. Appreciate you guys' feedback. It sounds like I don't like the cheat code one. It sounds like a get wealth quick. Cool. Appreciate that. Yeah, so your insights and your thumbs up and your thumbs down, those are all important to me. So you guys, go back to the original question that I asked everybody on this call. In 2004, Rich Kelsey will what? Well, what? What does that look like? You will become known. You will become, viral. You will help 25 families, whatever that looks like. I want you guys to be clear on that. So you guys, I really appreciated all of your insight and all of your conversations today. Thank you for getting involved. Let's get a couple key takeaways for the last 2 minutes. Hugo, let's hear from you, big dog. Key takeaways from our time together. Let's hear from you first and foremost. I'll go over to Stephanie, and then we'll wrap with Aaron Chris. Let's go, Hugo.
Yeah, main key takeaways that I really need to, nail down, sit down with myself and, see what I really offer, because we offer so many things, but really nail down, those 3 things. So whenever we have that conversation with clients, be able to, portray to them and, make them understand.
Totally. And you do it in a way that is original, right? If someone talks to me, they're going to get real game. The good, bad, the indifferent. I'm going to show my personality, my style, where I'm from, how I speak. Like I'm going to show like I am different. I am just different. And if you work with me, you're going to get the type of results that you want. I'm going to bring a level of energy that is unparalleled in this business. My 60% is higher than most people's 100. Literally, that's the type of confidence that I would enter in when I'm having communication with somebody if I know that I need to separate myself in a sea of sameness. Good stuff, Hugo. I love it. Let's go, Stephanie. Let's go over to you. Key takeaways from our time together, and then we'll wrap with Aaron Chris. Stephanie.
Hi, guys.
So my key takeaway for today was basically that I really need to narrow down my goals for 2024 and really put myself out there a little bit more. I really want to connect with more realtors and I need to do a lot more videos about all of the knowledge that I do have. I've been in this industry for so long. And if you talk to me one-on-one, I can talk all day long, but that camera, I really need to get in front of it and work on that and, work on educating our people really to help more home buyers.
That's right. And here's the thing, Stephanie, most people think like, oh, well, the people on social media are extroverts. It's not necessarily the case. You could be a comfortable introvert and be okay with that and still create great content. You don't have to be over the top with the energy and like, it doesn't have to be that. Just be yourself. And then people be like, oh, I love the way she talks. I love the way that she communicates. Really easy to digest. So becoming visible, you need to own that. That's yours to own. Like you can own your fame. And then now all of the realtors that are actively on social media that are typically the ones that are super, super busy, now they get to see you and be like, wow, she's a lot like me. She's on social. So I want to work and refer business to somebody like that. That's just the way it goes. I mean, obviously, Ashley, Christina knows that firsthand. So love that. Here to support you any way that I can. Aaron, Chris, let's go over to you and let's wrap with you. Key takeaways from our time together, Aaron.
Clear takeaways. I got to get clarity. I got to get clear. I've worked with Steph in the past, and so I probably need to bring Steph on as an accountability partner. I have to do things like that because to her point, I've been in the industry. I've been in real estate, mortgage stuff for years and years. And so I have all these things, but I don't have any clarity. It's like a bunch of ideas and stuff all over the place. And I need to really focus on my clarity. The business planning for 2024 is definitely a must to get to one of those workshops in November to help with that clarity. But first and foremost, to be able to do that planning, I need to be clear. And I love this industry. I love real estate. I love what we do. It's just being clear on why I love it. When you've been doing something for 20 years, you kind of start to lose sight on why you love it so much. You're just doing it. And I need to get clear on why I started doing this in the first place and why I'm still so driven to stay in this field, regardless of the bad news and the bad things that, I mean, over the past 20 years, we've had ups and downs.
That's right. That's right.
It's been brutal, but we're still here. We still make it.
That's right.
And getting clarity on why I continue to persevere through this and want to embrace these challenges is going to be important to me. So that's what I
love it, Aaron. Great way to end it, my man. And I promise you this, if for some reason you have not found clarity in this business and the road ahead, in business planning, I will make sure that you leave that room with clarity of the road ahead. You guys, we went 2 minutes over, so my apologies. So you guys, thank you. This is the last Monday for a couple weeks. Thank you. Obviously, we'll be here on Wednesday. Wednesday will be my last session on for Keep It Moving for 2 weeks. So be here, give me a proper send off. And as always, you guys, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and go make this a week of intention. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace. Oh, really quick. I'm dropping a video right now. It explains GCI. So as you're planning out your year, planning out your math, planning out your metrics, I'm going to drop a video right now. Make sure to save that, share that with a homie, because I think that it really clearly defines in a simple way how to figure out your GCI as you're writing your goals for the year. So coming soon. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.